So this is my friend's sofa. As you can see, it's similar to a chaise. It's high on one end and low on the other. The fabric she's putting on it is rolled up, and as you can see, it doesn't quite fit the whole length. So I'm going to have a word with her about a couple of problems that might be of an issue. It's going to be like doing an oversized armchair. So let's get on with it. I have marked the top and the bottom of the piece that I'm putting into the back with the centre mark. So I'll pull that over slightly because I'm not sure where this is. Roll that up and place that so it's in line with the centre mark. I need to keep the base of the back even. I'm going to keep the line of the wood here going through the centre of this pattern here all the way across in both directions. And I'm pulling the fabric out to the side because I want it nice and firm. This can be pulled into position, but I'm not going to finish it off until I get into this side. When I look at the back from the front, and I'm sure it's the shaping of the top and the way this goes down, but to me it looks like it's going this way slightly. I have to work out a way of getting this to go in to make sure it doesn't look like that. This is the centre that I had marked, so if I do it from outside to outside, it'll give me a better understanding. It's a 15-inch pattern repeat sideways, so I'm going to mark that because this is my new centre. If I measure across 15 inches from my original centre, takes it to there. Using my bubble, I'll make sure that that goes straight up to here. I might have to dissect it to another section because this is the highest point, but I'll see what it looks like when I pull it into here. I'll just pull it in for now, and if I have to alter it I will, because my main course of action at the moment is to get the side arms in. This can be altered. Pull that into place like that and down. Pull this one into place and down. I need this to be running more or less straight along the front edge as it pulls round like that, and then I know I've got enough to come round on the outside arm here. I'm thinking if I have this as my go-to line, because that's where the top of the seat cushion more or less comes, so it's basically this section here has to line up with this section here. I have my points. I pull this out slightly into that corner, which is about there. So if I put my finger on it and bring it out, I'll cut in to more or less where that is. That can go underneath there. There's a bar here, so I'm going to cut that in, not too far in. That can go down to the side, that can go to the back, and this can go up the side like this. Not quite where everything needs to be, but it's close enough that it's going to hold. I can alter this now for here. I don't want that to go through. I've got to make sure that the pattern looks like it runs around the sofa. It will change at the top and it will change a little bit right at the bottom, but I'm looking for, I think, basically this line because it's quite a big pattern to be even. Make sure that that pulls around the front, and I'm going to put a couple of staples in here just to make sure I don't pull it too far to the back, because the last thing I need to do is pull that to the back. Just like I did here, I'll pull that out and make sure that that goes into that corner at the bottom. Just like that will be fine. It's not all the way in, it can be pulled to the back. I'll work it all out as I get there. I just want that to be in place. Let's push it down. Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. Now the dog bones are relatively even here, but they do go up slightly into the corner. I'm going to release the top, bring that down into position so it's level, and then pull it against it and into place. And I think the dog bones here will be okay, but I will have to lift it at the front because that's not really showing it as even. It can be a little bit low at the front because usually seats go down slightly, but I'll have a look at that. Once I've finished playing with where I want the back, then I'll start playing with this and getting this into position. I'll use this as a point of reference for this corner. So I've adjusted this. The thing that I have to remember is there's a dog bone there and a dog bone there, then down. And this one is the one that's high. Then I have to remember the same with this. It's on the same level as there. So I need to drop that down. I've got room to bring this up and twist it so this one and this one are level, because the eye with the seat cushion is going to be taken to that point. I cut in so that I would be on the inside of this leg. This is the piece from the back, which I've just secured. I'm going to put this here like this, just over the edge. And I'm going to bring that evenly to the front. I'm going to pull this out slightly so that it's level with there, cutting in at an angle to that front leg. Where is that front leg? Up there. I'm not going to go in too far because I can fold that under to get that to go there, then cut a little bit like that. Is that quite there? I just don't want to be too tight in there. I'll see where that comes on that ridge that's under there. That can go up in there and then round like that. If I pull that in, I can see the front of this moving, which means I haven't quite got it into place. I'll cut that back so I know where it is I'm heading to, and I'll just make a couple more little nicks in and then even it out here. So I've preliminarily pulled it back over the top and across the front to hold it in position, and I've secured it across the front and under the arm here. That has altered where this goes, and that's why I say don't cut things all the way back to where you think they are, because they do change. And I'm going to just cut that into the bar at the back here. I'm going to fold that down and push it all the way through to the back. This comes across, but I don't want it to go as far back as it had originally, which means I'm going to cut in towards the top, not the top fabric, the top of the bar, so it will fold underneath the foam that's there. As long as it doesn't show under the fabric here, you'll be fine. A little bit more off here, but I'm going to angle it like that because there's a little bit of a ridge here and it'll go around that a little bit better. That comes down here. This is what I've been cutting around. I need another little clip down there. That will fold in better. That will go underneath the foam there. I have already cut some of this because I needed to make sure that went where it needed to go, but I didn't cut it in properly. Here is the cutting for above that bar, and then that fold over. I'm going to pull it in, not too tight, but tighten up, and then to the front here. I can cut this piece off because it won't matter. It's underneath everything anyway. And cut from there across because I don't think that needs to come out at all. Now this can come in here because I'm happy with where that is, but I do have to look at the base there. I'm not pulling it up or down. There, it's cut back. So just a little bit of altering here, but I'll pull that in a minute and then I'll pull this round. I've really worked at the bottom in the front and I like where it's all gone, so all I'm going to do, I'm not going to work with this because you can see it's rather lumpy. Now that's where I've been moving stuff around. It just needs a little bit of help. I'm going to come here because I can still move that around. Pull it up from the front and I'm literally pulling it down, not in, down. I'm going to move these two, and again I'm just going to pull it up and holding it quite firmly, pull it down and into place. Pull it up firmly and down and into place. It will work along the bias, so it's going to take the shape. The centre mark is here. I'm going to pull that down over the centre mark. It's not the original centre mark because the original one is by my hip. Bring it up and down and secure it. I am going to slightly pull it over, but not very, very much. And I can bring this up and work to my original centre here, doing the same thing. Just bring it in up and over, down and securing it. Can move it slightly towards there so that I don't have any rippling. I'll leave this section here to go in when I do the lower section. Along the back here, I'm not going to pull it. I'm just going to secure it because what I've done is I've pushed it to where I want it on the front, which means I shouldn't need to alter it at all on the back. Come around here. I'm not going to go any further because that might alter as I pull in the top. The nice thing about the second side is a lot of the measurements have already been done. So I've cut into here to match over there. I've lined it up as best I could at the back, but I will have to alter it in a minute. And then I'm going to come across here, push this into the corner there. I'm going to do an initial cut towards the corner and a further one out, and then this will go over the top. But I'll push that carefully into the side first. I know if I pull that here so that this part of the pattern is just on the edge of the wood, the pattern on the other side of the arm will be exactly the right place to go around. In some ways it's easier because I can secure things rather than measure everything out. Pull that down so it's in the middle there and into place, and secure that as well. Work my way into the corner here because I can cut some of this from this side of the sofa. I'm going to bring this up and over as straight as I can like that. There is a bar along the back here. Sometimes a good idea to pinch the fabric, which comes to there, carry on to there, but I'm also going to take it down like that, and the reason is I want to twist that underneath the bar and put it towards the back of the sofa. Now before I pull everything into the back, that can go down like that. Pull this up. On the other front facing of the arm, this part of the pattern comes here, just as it comes round and onto the flat face there. So I'm going to do the same here, and again up here, and then I'll just put one there to hold it. I've got to cut for the fabric to come under, and I need to recut for the bottom bar at the base. Kind of cutting blindly at the moment, and I'll just put little nips in until it's where I want it. Pull it hard over so it's going where I want it. This comes over the top. Yeah, a couple more little nips and that'll be exactly where I want it. I will recut a little bit at the bottom because that's not coming into place either, and then along the top here like I did on the other side. That's coming in, and then down because I don't want all of that on the front side of that bar. I want some there, but not too much. We have a staple here that needs to come out because that hurt me. Always make sure you get those staples out. They will ruin the fabric if you're not careful. Now I'm not going to be tough on where the pattern comes too much because it's different on both sides. But I think that's it. So I'll secure it here for now. Fold that over like that. Bring it round, and I can fold that little piece up onto there and secure this along here. Pulling it back from the front edge and then trimming it because I don't need all that fabric on there. Now coming into this corner, it's going to be slightly different from the other one. I've got to match up the right dog bones. This one comes here, 2 diamonds there, which kind of line up with those ones. So if I do that, it all looks lined up. Find the top of the bar at the bottom there, which I'm going to pull out, which is about there, and I'm going to cut up like that and into place. I think that's where it needs to go. Then I've got the bar there, cut that into place. I can mess with it so that goes round and pulls in a little bit smoother than that. For this part, I don't want to push it too far, I just want it to be shaped and then held. I need to work this piece out, so that's just a quick cut. That can go underneath to the back, and then this piece will go underneath to the side, but I need to work that out as well. I've secured this just so that I can't pull it up and down too much. On this corner, I'm going to leave a little gap, but not very much one, like that. I'm going to pull it down here. This is a lot looser than it was. I originally put it in straight across so that I knew where it would be, knowing that I would have to take it out. But I'm going to go from here all the way to the centre where it's firm. So let's get this stapled in here. Cut that back because I don't need all of that on there. I'm not pulling down too much, just a little bit. Upholstery is often like this, putting things in, taking things out, and readjusting the line. I'm going to carry on pulling down the back quite tightly. But as I go, I'm going to start cutting because I want this to give. I'm not pulling that way, I'm pulling down like that. Some of these might look a bit wrinkly. I'll go back and sort them out later if I need to. I'm going to do a couple like this. It gives a little bit more leeway to the fabric. You see it will splay out better. And I also had a couple of staples in holding it all the way across. I'll take that one out and adjust as I get here. Put a cut in there and adjust that one too. And that should give a nice even look across the top. Now I can see it's a little bit ripply there. I will sort this corner out and put it hard back this way, and that will take any rippling out. I think really what needs to be happening is this needs to be thinned out and put back in, or a new piece altogether. I'll work that out in a minute. I'm going to finish off down here and pull it into place on the side. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's an optical illusion, but it looks like this goes down. It does bulge here a little bit, so I will be pulling it a little bit further at the back. It's probably just the curvature of the back there. It seems not to be so curved here because of the height, but where it's lower it seems a little bit more rounded, but I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure it's right. I'll have a look and decide whether I need to pull anything in. This is the outside arm, or the top of the arm. Bring that into here, and I'm going to cut it along those dog bones there. I want to make sure that this pattern is straight, so I'm going to pull it in a couple of times until I'm really happy with it. Now it might twist slightly at either end, but the middle ones have to be in line. Just try to keep things straight if you can. Even that out slightly. Pull it all down into the center like this, and to the wood here, and secure. I'm going to work my way to the front, pulling it in so it's nice and secure and even. I can see along the top if it looks pinched, and bring that in. Just mind your fingers. I might have to alter it, but hopefully not. And then to the back. Once I've got the arm in, I can then rework the corners of the inside back so they're smooth. Pull it down slightly so that I can take some of the extra fabric out, and staple as high up as I can, minding my fingers. This can be adjusted when I put the outside on, just to make sure it looks smooth. Now the staples that I put in to hold it need to come out. I've just cut out and put in a small piece of padding there. Because it comes in at an angle, I am going to cut down just a little V. See how that goes in. I don't want it to be really very wrinkly. I should be able to hide any wrinkles with the fabric coming on around. So let's secure that. Pull that in and cut. I tend to cut as I go. Another cut there. So I've kind of fanned that out. This will all be hidden when the outside of the side comes in, and that looks relatively smooth. Anything else will be hidden when I bring this around. I'm going to pull that across there like that. If I had matching arms, I would make sure that these pleats matched both sides of the furniture, but I don't. I'm going to secure that there so it doesn't twist. Cut up. My next pleat is going to come in here. I always try to keep the fabric that's being pleated on a straight weave because they tend to come in slightly better. Pull that over there like that. What I'm intending to do is this, instead of coming all the way around like it did before, I'm going to come in and sort of make it a little bit narrower. I might have to take it out and put a pleat here. I'll work it in and see where all of this goes to. I can't pull this too far over. That has to more or less go there. That in now, and then we'll rework these couple of pleats here till I'm happy. Thank you for joining me on this project. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up will be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.